Have you ever noticed how uncomfortable it feels when someone acts exactly like you? Not better, not worse, just you. Same tone, same words, same attitude. At first it feels strange, then irritating, and eventually almost unbearable. That reaction? That's not random. That's psychological exposure. Because nothing unsettles a person more than seeing themselves clearly. And today, we're diving into one of the most subtle yet powerful strategies ever described. Law 44. Disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. Welcome to Mind Hums, where ideas spark and curiosity hums. There's a quiet kind of power in reflection. Not reflection as in thinking, but reflection as in mirroring. The mirror effect is simple on the surface. You reflect someone's behavior, tone, or actions back at them. But beneath that simplicity lies something deeper. When people interact, they carry a hidden belief. I am reasonable. I am justified. But the moment you mirror them, that illusion begins to crack. Because now they are no longer just acting, they are watching themselves act. And that creates discomfort. Not because you attacked them, but because you showed them something they weren't ready to see. Human beings are not as self-aware as we like to believe. We judge others clearly, but ourselves? We soften the edges. We justify. We explain. We excuse. But mirroring removes that comfort. When someone raises their voice and you calmly match that intensity, when someone uses sarcasm and you reflect it back, when someone argues irrationally and you follow their logic to its extreme, they begin to feel something unusual. Not attacked, but exposed. Because now they are experiencing their own behavior from the outside. And here's the key. People don't like confronting their own contradictions. So instead of accepting it, they react. They get frustrated, defensive, even angry. That's the infuriate part of this law. One of the most powerful real-world applications of the mirror effect can be seen in the actions of Mahatma Gandhi. He didn't fight the British Empire with brute force. He fought them with reflection. The British prided themselves on justice, law, and moral superiority. So Gandhi did something brilliant. He didn't reject their system. He embraced it. He followed their laws, exposed their inconsistencies, and held them accountable to their own principles. When the British responded with violence, it didn't just look like oppression. It looked like hypocrisy. And that's the power of mirroring. You don't attack directly. You simply reflect and let the truth reveal itself. Let's bring this into everyday life. Because this law isn't just for history, it's for real conversations, real conflicts, and real people. 1. Mirror tone, not emotion. If someone is aggressive, don't escalate. But don't shrink either. Match their tone just enough to make them aware. Not to fight, but to reflect. 2. Reflect logic in arguments. When someone presents flawed reasoning, instead of correcting them immediately, follow their logic. Take it to its natural conclusion. Let them hear it. Often they'll realize the flaw themselves. 3. Expose behavior without accusation. Instead of saying, "You're being rude," reflect it subtly. If they interrupt you constantly, interrupt them once or twice. Pause. Let silence do the work. They'll feel it. 4. Use calm imitation. The most powerful mirroring is not dramatic. It's calm, controlled, almost neutral. Because the calmer you are, the clearer the reflection becomes. This law is powerful, but it's not harmless. Used incorrectly, it can escalate conflict instead of resolving it. Avoid using the mirror effect with emotionally unstable individuals in sensitive personal relationships, when the goal is connection, not correction, because sometimes people don't need a mirror. They need understanding. There's a fine line between reflection and mockery, and crossing that line changes everything. The purpose of mirroring is not to humiliate. It's to reveal. If your intention is to embarrass someone, you lose the power of this law. But if your intention is clarity, then mirroring becomes a tool for awareness, even growth. At its core, this law teaches something deeper than strategy. It reveals a truth about human nature. We don't always change when we're told we're wrong. We change when we see it ourselves. And sometimes, the most powerful way to show someone who they are is to quietly reflect it back. The mirror effect isn't loud. It doesn't dominate. It doesn't force. It simply reveals. And in a world where people hide behind words, roles, and ego, that kind of clarity is rare and powerful. Thanks for letting your mind hum with us.